They slept on the team, now they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve for the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets, the coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on, smash. Put in the gas.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Alert three. Shit. Yellow. Kill.
On first down, it's Garrett. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. On the edge.
So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Come on, QB, come on. Go, 57's Mike.
Throwing now is Mahomes. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
First down, Minnesota.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
Don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Under 10.
They'll run on first down. Garrett. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They come up first and 10 at the 16. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Mahomes now to throw. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. picked off by Avonte Maddox. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Here's Minshew. He finds Taylor, complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Check 50, check 50.
Hey, Orbit.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Watch now.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Hey, 1-7. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Now a give, right side. Taylor. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Let's go. 8, read.
Mike 54. Not today, you are. Not today.
Hey, exit.
Mike 54, Mike 54.
Protein spill.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. Alert flare, alert.
Defense.
Minshew, 1st and 10. And the catch made by Hilton. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Number 83. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at their 48-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run with Taylor, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Check, 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 check.
Ready.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's into the clear. 20, 10, 5. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Come
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Check. Fresno.
Hey, wahoo!
Minshew sets to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On the set.
Mike's 5-4. Yeah, that's what I do. Watch out.
80 weapons. Hey, Foxtrot. They go.
Throwing on first down is Minshew. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Intended for DeAndre Hopkins. Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
I got you, boy.
Hey, high 7.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Hey, let's get that ball.
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
They can't hang with us. Mike's 54.
Hey, Alpha.
54. Check the outs. Mike's 5-4.
6-6, bullet high. Hey, Sam on. Get it.
They'll try to throw for it with Minshew. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line. That catch for his career is number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
61, matchbox lights. Shoot.
On first down, Taylor. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Let's get it together.
Hard.
No.
Smooth. Now.
On 2nd down, Minshew. Flush to his right. Complete to Hilton. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Echo.
Now Minshew. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Hopkins. Touchdown number 18 on the year. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Elliott good with a PAT. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been in an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
Mahomes firing complete.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10.
Check 24, check 24.
Greystone, Travis. Let's go.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Topper! Leo!
Big gas. 25, check 25, check 25.
Ready?
Throwing on 2nd down now, Minshew. Going deep. It got his man complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 39 yards there, a big one. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle 1st down.
At the 16-yard line.
And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
Rock it.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his second touchdown here in this first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Elliott good on the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
First down, Vikings.
On first down, Garrett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Now Mahomes. Dancing to his left. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Check safety.
Roll out.
Goose. Check 43.
Looking to throw it. Minshew. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Check 26. Watch safety 3.
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Take it at the 37. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Sack. Quarterback gets hit.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Mahomes going to throw. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Being chased out left. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Go, go.
Jim.
Hey.
Hey, watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, we have
Protein spill.
Shoot. Mike 54.
Yep.
54. I got one.
Now.
They'll throw now on the final play. Eluding the pressure right. He's got it to Hilton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go.
Ready.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys.
Hey, Charlie.
Check back 54.
Be careful.
2nd and 10. They'll find Taylor. That's complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9.
Hey, Haywood.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. And he's got his man, Hilton. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Ready?
Again, Minshew looking to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Go!
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Minshew going deep for Hopkins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
52. Watch twist. Yellow. Jump. 43. Here goes 15.
Mahomes now to throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Go.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Check, cross. Hey, orbit. Shoot.
Here's Minshew going deep for Hopkins. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Yes, yes. Bravo.
55, Mike, 55. Record. Shift.
Get it.
So 3rd and long, here's Minshew. He sets to fire deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And they work this out past the 25. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. They were probably just looking for a couple yards of breathing room, snapping the ball at their own 2. Well, they got a lot of breathing room.
And even knowing that offenses are as aggressive as they are now in the NFL, you still expect them to run the football in that situation. Why weren't they ready? Instead, it turns into a monster game and gets them way from the shadow of their own end zone.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. Give him 6 on the run. It'll be 3rd down now with still a long way to go to get to the first down marker.
And it's 3rd down.
Yellow. Let's go, Louie.
I'm coming. Let's 57's look. Here we go. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Flushed out right. Going deep for Diggs. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off near his own 48. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Eagles on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Hey, foxtrot.
Slam. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch
6-6. Pull it high.
Get off the field. Tight dog.
Hey, high 7.
6 guys. Hey, watch that.
5.
Out of the gun is Minshew. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Check. Hey, Ridley.
Check out.
To throw, it's Mahomes. It's complete to Diggs. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
He's moving, boys, he's moving.
They'll run on first down. It's Garrett, and I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
Come on, baby. Woo! Hey, watch in. Check the backer. Watch out.
57. 0-15. Right side.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Garrett. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, but it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And it's 3rd down.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Give him 7 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Minshew, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Hey, Echo.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch the hit.
On fourth down, Minshew. And no, it's incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
On second down, it's Garrett. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Vikings on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
At the Eagles' 10-yard line.
We go. 50, plant.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Miles Sanders, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Let's go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Bandit.
Now.
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Minshew sets to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 28. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that